All right, so we are going to begin with President Biden in Asia. He's in South Korea for the start of a strategically crucial trip to meet with allies. That country has a new leader who is already being tested by renewed aggression from the north. Nancy Cordes is traveling with Mr. Biden in Seoul. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning. The president made this trip halfway around the world to bolster U.S. alliances here at a pivotal time. And over the next couple of days here in Asia, he's going to sit down with the leaders of South Korea, Japan, Australia, and India as they deal with new provocations from China and North Korea. President Biden landed in Seoul and headed straight to a Samsung semiconductor plant with South Korea's new president. Samsung is building a similar factory in Texas.
President Biden, President Yoon.
This visit comes as President Biden seeks to establish a new economic framework in Asia, one that can challenge China's dominance and doesn't rely on supply from autocratic countries like Russia. As President Biden stops in South Korea, the White House is girding for a possible provocation from the north, with U.S. intelligence indicating the North Koreans might try to test a long-range missile or even a nuclear missile while Mr. Biden is here.
We are coordinating closely with our allies in both Korea and Japan on this.
Ryu Hyun-woo is a former North Korean diplomat who defected in 2019. He says the timing of North Korea's saber-rattling is no accident. This is a chance, he says, to send a strong message to South Korea and the U.S. to change their policies. For example, lifting sanctions on North Korea or a ban on joint military exercises between South Korea and the U.S. U.S. officials say neither of those things will change, however, unless North Korea stops pursuing its nuclear program. Amid this heightened security situation, Anne-Marie, the president is no longer considering making a stop at the DMZ, the demilitarized zone between South and North Korea.
Let me ask you about something that we're just learning about. We're following news about an alleged incident involving two Secret Service employees. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I can. So based on what we're hearing from our sources, Anne-Marie, this happened about 24 hours ago or so. These two Secret Service employees were here in Seoul preparing for the president's visit. He hadn't landed yet. And they went out for a night on the town, bar hopping. At least one of them apparently was intoxicated, came back to the hotel where the president is now staying, and got into some kind of altercation with a taxi driver, possibly with some other individuals who were maybe trying to get into the taxi as they were trying to get out. And apparently one of these two employees actually got into a physical altercation with the taxi driver. Police were called to the scene. Neither of these employees were detained or arrested, but a report was filed. And now these two employees are on their way back to the United States, and they're going to be placed on administrative leave. Not so much, we're told, because of the physical altercation, but because they were intoxicated on the job, or rather off hours, but here in a foreign nation where they're preparing for the president's visit, and that is against the rules.
So you mentioned in your lead up that, of course, we know he's going to Japan, but he's meeting with the leaders of Australia and India. That's kind of the group that's now casually known as the Quad, right? Can we talk a little bit about this gathering and what the focus will be?
Right. It's significant that this is the first time that President Biden will be meeting with these leaders in Asia. He's had a couple other meetings with them, primarily virtual. But this is really meant to send a message to the world about the strength of this four-nation alliance, and certainly to send a message to China in its own backyard that these four countries are pursuing a closer partnership, both economically and strategically, in the the region when it comes to security as well. It's perhaps no surprise that China, just before this meeting is set to begin, is suddenly ramping up exercises in the South China Sea. We're also seeing provocations from North Korea as the president arrives here in the region, the possibility of this North Korean test sometime in the next couple of days. So some saber rattling on the part of both the Chinese and the North Koreans as the U.S. flexes its muscle here in Asia.
Nancy Cordes, thank you very much.